It is 7:53 p.m. on Thursday, May 1st, 2025. I've been lying on my bed for an hour and a half now, trying to rest quietly in the privacy of my living space. And as I have reported dozens and dozens and dozens of times over the last few years, Jasmine Irizarry has once again resumed her use of a directed energy device to electronically harass, harm, and assault me while I lie on my bed in the privacy of my living space, quietly trying to rest. This kind of aggressive harassment and harm is entirely surveillance-based, and it only occurs when I'm lying on my bed. This is extremely dangerous. You can kill someone when you use a directed energy weapon to electronically assault them because it can cause all kinds of medical downstream side effects such as seizures, heart attacks, strokes, or other types of adverse events that the use of a electronic assault device can easily trigger. So right now I'm lying here on my bed, quietly minding my own business, trying to rest. Nobody should have any knowledge of what I am or am not doing in the privacy of this living space. And I just had to leave a voicemail for the Greenville Group. I now also have to file a restraining order, not just against Jasmine Irizarry, but her handlers at the Greenville Group, which include Oleg Eliseyev, all the other property managers, including Felicita Rodriguez, and the owners, Boris Kritnik, Alex Kritnik, Victoria Kritnik, and whichever arm of the law enforcement branches of the Boston Police have provided Jasmine Irizarry with a directed energy device. These devices are not commercially available. They are only being used in the United States right now by law enforcement agencies and local police departments, and they are used specifically for crowd control and dispelling violent gatherings. They are sound and thermal, and the one that is being used on me right now is thermal. It is an unbelievably painful, very harmful phenomenon. It starts in your head. It feels like your head is being blasted by something that is going to cause it to suddenly explode. It literally hits you from 1 second to the next, where you suddenly feel like your eyeballs are about to pop out and your ears are splitting, and you have this intense, dizzying, increasing head pressure that then moves all the way down your body and makes you feel like you're being electrocuted and squeezed tighter and tighter at the same time. This has been going on for over 5 years. I've been reporting it to the Greenville Group for at least 4 years in dozens of emails, voicemails, and verbal notifications to their office staff. I've also notified the police about it, and they seem to think that directed energy weapons don't exist. That's funny because that's not what the websites for law enforcement agencies show. It shows that law enforcement agencies are the ones who are using directed energy devices. So when the police say those things don't exist, they're simply covering their own asses because they don't want the public to know that they're the ones who are most likely to possess a directed energy weapon in any geographic location or area of this country. However, you can also make your own directed energy devices by following some pretty simple and easy to follow steps on Google, on YouTube, and other how-to internet websites. Irizarry, the psycho trash, psychopath, sex offender, career criminal, thug for hire, the perving, creeping reject, has admitted, like a stupid criminal, to using a directed energy device in multiple written comments that she herself has made on my social media page. And I know that it's her because she has referenced the intensity and the occurrences and the specificity of the occurrences of these attacks. And that is something that I have not mentioned in any of my videos that nobody else should have knowledge of, except obviously the person who is doing the electronic assaulting. The person who is using the directed energy weapon would be the only one to know how intense or not intense it gets used based on which location of my unit, of my living space, or of my bathroom I happen to be in. And there is a difference in the intensity of the use of this directed energy weapon based upon where I am in my unit. I have never mentioned in any way where the use of this directed energy weapon is most intense and unbearable and where it is the least intense and unbearable. But Irizarry has made comments to that effect, noting that she's not using it that strong, and then fill in the blank based on what I do. So that's a legitimate and verifiable fact of what I keep experiencing that matches the comments made on my YouTube page by somebody with the screen name Jasmine Irizarry, who obviously knows other people in this building who have also added to Irizarry's comments about the use of a directed energy device. Notably, somebody named Christopher Thomas, who keeps correcting me when I refer to it as a directed energy device, telling me it's actually a directed energy weapon, and that Irizarry is very skilled at, quote, being like a ghost and using it without being detected. Well, you can actually detect the use of a directed energy device by purchasing a meter, an electromagnetic frequency meter, that are commercially available on websites such as Amazon.com and that retail for $250 to $300 that detect, and not just detect, but quantify a wide range of electromagnetic output that different types of electronic devices emit in any given environment or room or office space or building. You can also use electromagnetic meters to detect electromagnetic output outside. I mean, it's not just limited to a room or an office or a living space. So you can detect electromagnetic output anywhere if you have a directed energy meter called an electromagnetic frequency meter. Anybody can purchase those commercially on any website that sells them. So this is quantifiable. And it keeps happening, and it prevents me from being able to just simply rest. So there's a bunch of screaming, low-life scum, rejected, hate-stalking, shithole trash pieces of filth outside, screaming and shouting on the street, and I know exactly what that means. It means that they are acting as a group to try to take me down in whatever way they can. They did this last week when they went to my employer and defamed me to my employer. They do this when they try to influence the landlord to take negative action against my tenancy. So I'm willing to bet that there's some type of legal notice right now in the pipeline from the Greenville Group in some type of adverse capacity towards my tenancy. Yeah, I'm right. So these stupid criminals, these low-life career thugs, these perving, creeping, pedophile pigs are so stupid that whenever they think that they have gotten some type of upper hand in terms of taking me down because they're so miserable, jealous, and useless that all they do is try to take other people down who cause them to feel inferior in some way because spiritually and behaviorally they are, they behave like a bunch of filthy animals out on the street. And that's been going on while I've been lying here quietly trying to rest for the last 2 hours. And then Irizarry, the stupid, perving, pedophile pig, concurrently goes to town on me by blasting me with her directed energy weapon. That almost always happens when I'm lying on my bed trying to rest, late afternoon, early evening. And the two go together. The screaming, psycho, filthy animal, low-life scum out on the street who are always screaming and shouting in the area on the street right below my windows for some strange reason. I keep making videos showing them gathering out there like a bunch of screaming circus clowns, and they do that for hours while I lie here trying to rest. That always happens in concurrence with Irizarry, the pedophile psycho pig's use of a directed energy weapon that she herself has admitted to using in multiple written comments on my social media pages. And the details that she has included in those comments exactly match what I personally continue to experience, but have not mentioned in any way, shape, or form on social media. So therefore, the only person who could have accurate knowledge of the intensity and the varying degrees of harm that is coming from that directed energy device is a person who is actually using it and handling it themselves. That's the piece of shit, the fat, perving, pedophile, psycho pig, Jasmine Irizarry, who continues to make her presence known, not just in this building, but in the bathroom of 78 and unit 76 directly below, by deliberately engaging in violent, aggressive harassment based on 2 or 3 things that she has always gotten triggered over for the last 11 years. And then she starts doxing her physical location by deliberately burning and propagating overpowering, sickening, nauseating amounts of smoke that fill my entire kitchen area and bathroom directly from the bathroom of 78. This happens every few days. I've notified the Greenville Group of it dozens of times. They have failed to take any action. Therefore, I will take action myself and take everybody to court. It's very easy to file a court case from the comfort of your own home, folks. You can do it at midnight if you feel like it. And now I have to, because I keep getting violently harassed when I try to use a toilet in my bathroom. And throughout the afternoon, there were 2 people in the bathroom of 78 repeatedly making violent smacking and slamming noises against the wall behind my toilet each time I tried to use my toilet. And the slamming and smacking only occurred when I was trying to use my toilet, not at any point before, not at any point after. And that is obviously through the use of surveillance devices that the Greenville Group themselves have admitted to using in my bathroom, that I myself found a device back in 2017 that was a tiny little black dot that looked just like an eye, a perfectly round eye with a lens in it, that was a shiny little paint splatter on the wall across from my toilet, but wasn't really a paint splatter because it was the only black dot on a otherwise very light colored wall. And it was stuck to the wall and wouldn't come off. Very strange. So, these things happen. It's possible. It's physically not just possible, but quite easy for a landlord to use surveillance devices in tenants' living spaces. Landlords have a lot of resources when it comes to doing things like that. And they think they have the right. Unfortunately, they don't, not according to the laws of the United States. So I can't wait to start filing court cases against everyone involved. Irizarry, the Kritniks, Mr. Elisayev, her Jasmine Irizarry's sponsor. I've been told that she's getting free food and rent in exchange for harassing tenants that the Greenville Group doesn't like. And there's obviously nothing that is stopping the Greenville Group from using career pedophile psycho pigs like Jasmine Irizarry to do their dirty work and try to get rid of tenants that they don't like, because tenants, who have half a brain are able to observe the criminal conduct and unfair and deceptive business practices of the Greenville Group. And the Greenville Group doesn't like tenants that have half of a brain and can call them out on their racketeering activities and illegal conduct that they engage in on a regular basis by using surveillance devices, not just in my unit, but in common bathrooms of this building complex.